Yo. So, last night, crazy crypto dump, dude. Like, Bitcoin went from I think it was above 50K, 55, all the way down to 42 at one point. And then alts absolutely crushed, right? Altcoins absolutely crushed. Today, it's 10 o'clock Central, somewhere around there, 10, 11 o'clock Central right now. And today, alts are bouncing pretty hard. So, and I know I don't talk about the larger market a lot, because the channel is very specific, but I do want to touch on this because it's been part of my sentiment in Discords and, just talking to people within the community. But, and me and Rico have kind of, worked on this together and come to the same kind of conclusion, which is everything looks like it's accumulating right now. It all looks like accumulation. The volume associated, and I say everything, obviously I'm painting with a broad brush. I'm talking about the market in general, that even the stuff that we're bearish on. So Apple looks like a huge, terrible distribution right now, like 20 years of distribution. Even that, it's in a rising wedge, SPX or SPY, whichever one you like to follow. Big old rising wedge, but still a lot of room. To just keep kind of going into that wedge. Now, rising wedges can break to the upside, but they're typically, a pretty good signal that there's going to be some significant downside. So this is the way I see the market right now. I was bullish going into this month on altcoins, crazy bullish. AMC going into late December, January, the meme stock sort of thing. And now, and remember, we've talked about this on the channel before, but there's a liquidity cycle that has occurred in the past with AMC's pumps, which in AMC's run up to on June 2nd to $70, was about 2 weeks after the big old crypto dump on May 19th. And then the January crypto dump, its peak was January 20th or something, and obviously you had the meme stock run up of January 27th. Sorry, I got allergies right now, the weather's changing. But the overall sentiment right now in the market, right? So all week, the stock market getting crushed. And again, I was bullish on everything going into this month. Whole stock market gets crushed. All these narratives, right? Ukraine and Russia, variant. What was the other one? Evergrande comes back. All at once. Charts looking accumulative, in my opinion. They're, in my opinion, and if you watch my video for AMC's recent move down, the emergency update, where I talk about the spring within the spring, which we called perfectly and occurred yesterday on Friday. And you should watch my video from today on AMC if that's really what you're interested in too, because I go into detail about how the spring phase could possibly not be over and what that would look like. But for alts right now, and I haven't looked at stocks in general or SPY or anything like that in this context, but alts right now, they look like they're doing the same exact thing that AMC did, which is they went down really hard. AMC went down to 26.50, 27 or something, bounced right up, and everybody's like, oh yeah, we're done. And I said we could go to 30, 31 and then come back down and test this $25 region, and that's exactly what happened. Why that happens is because within the larger move that's occurring, you have smaller accumulations. And I mean, you can zoom in to the minute chart on any of these charts that you want, and you can see these Wyckoff accumulations and distributions occurring all throughout the day. But the larger picture is the one that matters the most. And right now, I'm sure, I mean, people don't even have to freak out in crypto right now because there's so much leverage in the space that, I mean, this thing from yesterday was just a stop loss triggering, margin liquidating, just F you candle. Just say goodbye to your position, because, and not even if you want to, like, you don't even want to say goodbye to it. I'm taking it from you type shit. And you got to realize that that is the most accumulative thing. The whale on the other end of that sale, bars, the whale on the other end of that sell that caused that sell off just collected all of that. He did. He caused the sell off. He bought the bottom. He got all that. All that liquidity he just absorbed. And look, it can go further. But to me, what this looks like right now, my conviction is still the same. I am still bullish going into 2022 on a lot of things, like most of the markets, most of the crypto market, bullish. I think it's going to be hard to lose money on crypto, altcoins going into next year. Not financial advice, obviously, but that's what I believe. I think that right now what is happening is Composite Man, my boy, me and him, we're real cool. He is saying he's agreeing, but he's wetting his beak before he, he's like, yeah, man, like, I'm ready to pump all this, but before I do that, let me make sure I get it a little bit more, and if he's sitting there and he sees all that margin with all these liquidation levels and all these stop losses, because he can see it. If he's got the exchange data, he can see what price would have to be there to trigger. He's going to say, I can get Bitcoin at 42K. That's reserved for one guy, dude. One guy. So, look, I'll tell you right now, you could still see a lower low on crypto. Just look at every crypto chart. They're all the same because it looks like a sell climax. The volume is relatively high, in my opinion. It's not a spring in the shorter term context. The volume's too high, in my opinion. But the next move down, so the bigger move is a spring, but there's an accumulation happening within this spring phase. There's going to be another move, in my opinion, that breaks below those trading ranges again on crypto. And maybe the broader market. I haven't looked at the stocks as heavily, but it's clear as day to me on crypto. I don't know how low it'll go. Probably look for a key Fibonacci level or something like that that's below what we already hit, measured from before. And that is going to be kind of and it's going to take time for it to kind of climb back up. But going into late December and then early next year, all of a sudden, all of these bad narratives, they're going to find a way to become good. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, as always. I mean, I can't predict the future, but this guy, man, he will make a good narrative bad and a bad narrative good. And I'll give you an example. If you look at Bitcoin's chart from early 2020, like January, up until May, it's a big distribution schematic. Just look up Wyckoff distribution. I mean, it's clear as day. It's not even like questionable. There's no question. Okay, the volume matches perfect. Everything is perfect about it. Okay. And look up the date that Tesla started accepting Bitcoin. Look up the date that they started accepting Bitcoin originally, like it was January, February, something, 2020. And then look at the date that they stopped accepting it because of environmental concerns. Hey, man, like I said, what you're up against here is a guy who spins narratives in order to accomplish his goal of accumulation and distribution. And he doesn't have emotions, and he's not married to any of his positions or anything. He's in this to make money. or something, like absorb power through means of money. And any narrative that he needs to spin, he will spin it. So like I said, I mean, look, I'll give you another example of one that you might see in the future. China banning crypto, which they've done 1,000,000 times by now, but bad. But when it happened, I was like, good. You know why? Because China was one of my biggest concerns for Bitcoin. Their dominance over the mining. I mean, they owned Bitcoin mining, like over 50%. Or close to 50%. So where if they would have kept investing, they would have eventually gotten over 50%. And that dominance over an asset that the world is supposed to be using as a decentralized form of exchange, that doesn't mix very well, especially with China and, you know, their policy, the way that they have control over ownership. Not to say, like, I'm not trying to be political. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at an asset, that's not the best way to... it's probably not the best way from a capitalism standpoint. If you're looking at, like, okay, country owns all of it. You know, like, that's not the best for an asset that's supposed to be decentralized. That's my point, right? So when China banned it, it was, like, crushing Bitcoin's price. And the whole time I was sitting there like, yo, I kind of like this. Like, this is good. They're gonna not own as much of it? That's good. And so I don't think that we've actually seen that come out, like, from the news perspective and the narrative perspective on the mainstream level. But it's gonna be there eventually, right? They're gonna go, oh yeah, look at what happened. China stopped, and then look, it became even more decentralized. Look at the data. And then it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a catalyst. That's gonna be like part of a catalyst. Like, he's gonna have like 1,000,000 catalysts. Like, all the news is gonna be great. That's when he's gonna be selling it to you. Distribution. And yeah, so he'll spin them however he wants to spin them, man. I'm seeing the variant news and everything like that. Yeah, you know, this is gonna be an exhaustive process next few weeks, I think. He's going to really try and shake people up. I mean, you know, I can't guarantee timelines, but I know I think I know what the bigger plan is here. I think that you're going to see next year is going to be a big rally. And then after that, not just crypto, like stocks after that. Yeah, I think it's going to be rough after that. But that will probably be accumulation. So with that information, do what you will. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, make sure you smash a like. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm going to have a Discord link down below. Completely free to join. Cool community. Share a bunch of charts. A bunch of ideas. Talk about things like this. Talk about Composite Man all the time. Yeah. So go check that out. I'm about to go work out, and until next time, peace.